guys, you're back with Juzzy Evo X. So if you are a follower of my Instagram account or my YouTube account, you would have seen that I haven't made any posts, any pictures, any video uploads, nothing about this Lancer Evolution 10, which I've owned for the last, let's say now, 4 years. Really enjoyed the car, have had great mods of it, had fun with it, etc, etc. But I ran a goal that I wanted to achieve for the car. The car became the quickest Evo X 2-litre SST in the country. It ran an official time slip at Willowbank Raceway, and it did it really well. Lots of thanks goes out to the boys at AK Racing for their hard work on it, both mechanically and I guess from the software side of things, with tunes for the gearbox and the engine. But time's sort of moved on, and I've been looking to purchase something else. I really missed the feel of a manual transmission, but at the same time, I wanted a quicker way to actually get to and from work. So even if I did sell this car, or if I purchased yet another car, because this is my third car, then I'd really be just starting over again, and more than likely getting somewhere near $40,000 or $50,000 in debt. So this car really fits the bill for me. It's fully built, or I guess you could say, in terms of bolt-on mods. However, I am not really feeling competitive with it anymore. So I guess everybody reaches a stage when you modify a vehicle, and a lot of people just sell as soon as they reach their goal rather than enjoying it. I don't really just have that desire to do that just yet. I have thought about it, and I've just thought through a number of things. I did actually consider putting some tenders out for sale, putting the car up for swaps. I have had a 180SX before, which was a rear-wheel drive, high horsepower car. It actually had more power than this car, and on the fly it was certainly way more faster than this car, but it never had the traction, and it could never change gears, of course, like this one can, as quickly as this one can. So I started running through some different ideas, what options were available. I even had a look at electric cars, and long and short, I truly desired to have a manual vehicle. So some of you might have seen on my Instagram account that probably about a month ago, I put up a link to another Instagram account, which was for the license plate, which reads TWEAKED. And here in Brisbane, Australia, the modification scene is well and truly alive. We never really were affected by COVID shutdown so much, and so our tracks were open and all that sort of stuff. So we never really felt the absence of sort of getting together with people, or certainly I didn't. I was out at a track multiple times, and you'll see that in my videos. A lot of people buy this car and they modify it, and they don't really do anything with it. So I guess for me, I didn't want to be that sort of person that was stuck in that position of modifying a car and then taking pretty pictures for Instagram and not really doing anything with it. So I achieved that, really happy with the result, but now I'm just going to enjoy it, maybe not so much do some competitive stuff with it, but I want to focus on what is my new ride. So you might be wondering, well, what exactly is it? So during the course of COVID, there was really no point of purchasing or swapping or modifying another car, because people just weren't really going out to work. There was the option of working from home, certainly for myself in my job. I was able to do that. But then sort of time went on, and instead of having daily cases of 10,000 people with COVID in Queensland, Australia. That dropped significantly to the point where now we only have probably 1,000 or less than a day for a whole state. So people are starting to venture out a lot more, and the traffic's getting busy. The cost of fuel for people is becoming too high. In this case, my car's got a dual map, so it's 98 and E85. However, a lot of people are definitely getting that wallet hit at something like $2.20 per litre. So yeah, you don't have to waste $1,000 and get a flex fuel tune. You simply can just be on 98 and enjoy the benefits of a car that does. You have the less power, but you obviously get the way better fuel advantage. And yeah, if I wanted to do that, I could, but I have never ever run this car 98 from the day it went to E85. E85 is a sort of fuel, I guess, that once you get the hungriness for power and you get used to that, you could never go back. Not to say that power is everything though, and so this is where it's going to lead to my new vehicle. So some vehicles are quick, but you get stuck in traffic. So every car's that point. You go, if you're like me and you live a few suburbs out from the middle of a city and you've got to go to the city each day, then you become highly, highly jealous of the vehicles that don't have to wait in line. Now, of course, that means that applies to scooters and motorbikes. Now, I certainly wasn't going to look at purchasing a scooter, so I decided to look at a number of two-wheeled vehicles, which leads me to what you see here. So what we're looking at here is a brand new 2022 Honda Rebel. So this is a vehicle which is super hard to get right now. If you have a look online, you'll see that chip shortages, etc., also apply to motorbikes. And this motorbike or this vehicle is certainly no stranger to that. So if you have a look at the bike sales or Facebook Marketplace or any sort of website that deals with purchasing bikes, you will see that these bikes sell for as much as what they were brand new. And the vehicle, the motorbikes are only dating back to somewhere around 2018. So during the COVID period, so sort of from 2021 onwards, Honda decided to do a slight appearance upgrade to this bike, and they changed it so that the front forks, instead of having the chrome appearance, they came out with gaiters, fork covers, and a new headlight cowl, as well as the LED headlight. Now, I've been super jealous of all the people that ride past whilst I've got to sit in the traffic, particularly when I'm idling there with E85. So I also got sick of filling up jerry cans. So with my Evo 10, because the United petrol stations that are in the area are kind of scattered, they're certainly not on every block like a BP or a Shell are. Every time you go to fill up on this car, it's literally like a 7 or so minute drive to get there. So you might think, oh, that's not very far, but when you've got a couple of jerry cans, that pretty much lasts about maybe 1.5 to 2 weeks. And certainly the fee to pay for that petrol coverage at the moment, when you're just sitting there in a sort of freeway entrance or exit, or even in the CBD, or even just sort of idling along on the freeway, is just hopeless. It's not for me. So that's the main reasons why I decided to purchase this bike. So I've purchased this bike outright. and I was super lucky. So the story is, I rang up on Wednesday, rang a Honda dealership on the south side and said, I'm in the market for a Honda Rebel. I want one brand new and I want the special edition. I don't want the normal one. What can you do for me? The guy asked me, have I ridden one? What's my sort of history on bikes? And I said to him, well, I have held a open license for bikes for about 10 years. And the last time I rode was probably about that or thereabouts. And so I didn't want to have a sports bike, so a racer where you're leaning forwards and, I'm in my 40s now and I wanted something that was upright, fun to ride and easy to ride, a low seat height, but still had reasonable power. And also I wanted it to be a manual. Now this bike actually comes with a DCT transmission, just like the Evo X does. It is an option that's available on the 1100, but I didn't want that. I wanted a manual vehicle. I did think about it, and mostly because each morning I've got to ride up this relatively steep driveway, but also just general commuting. Automatic transmissions are certainly a lazy man's tick box, I guess you could say. But when you own a bike and you're able to ride along the shoulders when the traffic's under 30 k's an hour in Australia, or when you're just wanting to lane filter, you don't need to have that automatic transmission. So you can quite clearly and easily ride a manual and just really enjoy it the way that motorbikes should be. So these are some of the reasons why I bought this bike, and I generally tend to buy vehicles new. I don't normally like buying secondhand. Learned the hard way with this vehicle, which, not too long after I bought it really. The box, the dual clutch transmission had an issue with the shift fork. The car came with cheap modifications on it, and I've completely turned that around. So if you know me, you know that I won't be a person that leaves vehicles standard. So picked this motorbike up from the dealer today. I rang on Wednesday and today is Saturday, and we're in the beginning of September 2022. This bike was super brand new, only had 3 kilometers on it. So essentially bikes, when they're delivered to a dealer, they come in a crate. The front wheel is separated from the forks, and then they have to install things like, maybe mirrors and seats, etc. There's some videos online if you are a Honda Rebel owner and you just want to see what that process looks like. So they built it for me, and I turned up this morning, purchased the bike. They did a quick run through with me, and then they asked, are you interested in buying any dealer accessories? Now, I love the blacked out look of this bike. But the special edition, despite it having the blacked out front forks and the black cowl, the headlight cowl for the headlight, it actually comes with a brown seat. Now the seat on this vehicle looks like it's stitched, but it's actually just an imprint. So it does come with a brown one and a brown sort of passenger seat here. I've registered this vehicle as a single seater. So what the dealer has to do is either remove the seat or remove the pegs. And in this case, I just asked them to do both. So the reason why I haven't been posting any sort of posts on my Instagram in relation to level 10 is because in the whole time that you've not seen my posts, I've actually been buying parts for this bike. Now I've got a whole suite of parts from the main modification sort of company for this vehicle, which is K-Speed. K-Speed, if you don't know, they are a company based out of Thailand. You can purchase parts directly through them on K-Speed Net, but you can actually purchase them also from their Japanese dealer, which is what I did. So my parts actually were purchased from the kspeed.com website, and the gentleman that runs that, his name is Now, he actually arranged for all the parts to be delivered to me, And as you can expect, parts that come from Japan arrive super quick. I have actually subsequently purchased some parts then from the K-Speed Thailand website just to check it out, and it was quick as well. Now let me tell you, the parts that have arrived are super high quality. You can buy several knockoffs for this bike, but you obviously are going to have fitment issues, etc, etc. So I decided to just bite the bullet and get all the genuine gear. So just as a hint of things to come, I've obviously got the slip-on exhaust, I've got a quad lock charger for the handlebars, I've got the fender delete, as well as the belly cover, radiator cover, replacement front fender. I've got drag bars for the motorbike as well, with mirrors that sort of hang down from below. They're all from K-Speed, replacement grips. Then from WeBike Japan, I've purchased some aftermarket adjustable levers, so one for the clutch and the brake. I've got some aftermarket indicators for the front and the rear. So as a part of removing this rear fender, there will be a K-Speed short fender there, and then I'll be doing a removal of the whole tail tidy area. Of course, I've got the customized plates. I've got a side mount license plate holder. I've got some brake pedal replacements. I've got a much louder horn, radiator cover, and last I've actually got some wheel covers. So basically they look like black discs and it looks super. Not that the factory setup doesn't look bad, it certainly does look good. But yeah, so if you have not already, I would ask that you hit that subscribe button now if you're interested in seeing Honda Rebel modifications, as well as any further modifications or track time with the Evo, because that is not ruled out. That vehicle is not being sold. I'm still have intentions to hang on to it. But in the last few months, I've taken a huge break from the local Evo community, the CJ sort of Lancer community, so 4B11T community. I have not posted. So for anyone that follows me and has just sort of wondered why have I dropped off the earth, that's the reason why. So I'm really looking forward to doing some basic mods first. The first round of mods, as I said, will be to replace the stock exhaust and to get the quad lock charger on there so that I can have my phone set up for GPS, etc. Not that I really ride or go places that I don't really know, but yeah, one of my friends at work has a similar bike, and I'm looking forward to sort of meeting and getting together with some people who have this platform. So if you are a current subscriber or follower to my YouTube channel, which you're watching this on right now, if you choose to unsubscribe because you don't want to see some motorbike content, then I'll understand that. I hope that you have enjoyed the modifications so far that I've done to my Evo. And yeah, I'd love it if you hanged around. I don't want to go to the trouble of creating a new channel, and I understand that this is a complete different change of direction for most Evo 10 owners. I don't think I've ever seen anyone that has gone on to post their motorbikes, but I think motorbikes are pretty cool. And if it means that I'm keeping this bike, but I get a daily commuter this instead, and you're okay with that, then keep following the channel. So yeah, thanks for your patronage to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.